computer. So anyway, so what we'll do is we're going to go to the post shot screen and we're going to add in all the stuff that's in the game over screen so that the player can see like, oh, it took me this many strokes for this hole, or I'm at this current stroke or whatever for this hole. So let's do that. Let's go to post shot screen here. And we already have a vertical box. We already have a spacer, so I'm actually gonna bring that spacing up a little bit. And we will click on this, you did it. Maybe make, actually that's okay with the size. We'll leave it the way it is. Let's go to the game over screen. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cheat a little bit and we're gonna grab these three horizontal boxes. So the total strokes, total par, and score. I'm gonna grab all three of those by selecting them. And then I'm gonna right click and say copy. And then I'm gonna go to the post shot screen. I'll click on the vertical box here and I'm gonna do Control V to paste them. And I am going to drag them right underneath the horizontal box of you did it. So they're underneath just like that. And now we need to expand them. So let's expand them out. And what do we need? We need current strokes. So instead of total strokes, this will be current strokes. So we're just going to leave it at current stroke like that. And instead of a total strokes title, it will be current strokes. Oh, sorry, current stroke title. And current stroke value for our 9999. And then the next thing we need is the par for that hole. So we have total par for course, but what we really need is just par for hole title, and then par for hole value. And instead of it saying total par, it's going to just say par. And then score is fine. And it's actually, it has total difference for title. We don't want that. We're just going to say score difference or something like that. We'll just leave it at score. Just score title, and score value. Score value. Cool. Then I am going to we'll grab all of the text objects. So we have all the text objects here, and I am going to not make them bold. Let's do regular, and then we'll make them a little bit smaller. So I got it at 55. I kind of want it smaller than this title, but not too much smaller. So let's do like 25. Oops, 25. That's too small. Well, maybe not too small. 35. That looks okay. 30, 33. 33 looks okay. Okay, then I want to fix the difference here so that the 999s are all in alignment. So I'm gonna do that by going to the spacers. And I think that space is okay, but this one is not. So I'm gonna go to the X value here until it is very close in alignment. We're just adjusting this X value. That looks good. And I'm gonna click on this spacer and adjust that X value. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm gonna put another spacer between this horizontal box and the you did it horizontal box. So I am gonna type in spacer in our palette, grab the spacer, left click and drag, and put it between those two horizontal boxes. And then I'm gonna do the Y value to bring this down just a little bit. That looks good. And actually, I'm bringing this one up a bit. Cool. And then we have post shot feedback button. We want to change that. That's gonna. Oh, actually, post shot feedback button. We're gonna leave that. I'm sorry, we're gonna leave that. That's fine the way it is. But I am gonna adjust the spacer. We're gonna bring that back up so that our button can be back on the background. Okay, that looks good. Now we just need to add some logic. All right, so let's compile and save, and we will go to we have all these variables. We do. Okay, cool. So we'll go to our graph here, and what are we going to do? Let's see, out of bounds. This is, what is this? This is post shot in pin. I think what we'll do is we're going to make another custom event. So just custom event. We're gonna call this get score. And then what we'll do is, do we have the game instance already? Let's see. We have the HUD, we have the game state, but we don't have game instance. So let's get game states for. I'm sorry, game instance. We'll do cast2 BP my game instance. And we will do get game instance, this one right here. And we've done this quite a few times, which is fine. We'll promote this variable, BP my game instance. All right, we'll save that. And let me look at the game over screen because I don't remember how we did this. We did, what is it? Game instance, total strokes, total par. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's, what? Compile, here we go. Okay, so we need to go to post shot. So we're gonna get our score. So we go game instance. And what do we need? First, let's do current stroke. Where are we getting current stroke from? Is that in pawn? Or is it in game state? Or is it in game instance? Let me see. Game instance strokes. Oh no, it isn't stroke. It is in game instance. Okay, cool. So we'll do game instance, get strokes, and then our current strokes value, that's going to be set text, and connect like that. And then our par, we'll do the set text on that one. And this is coming from the pin, if I remember correctly. So how are we getting the pins? We're getting it from game state, I believe. Game state. Let's see. Get total par number. Yeah, I'm gonna do it from game state. So we'll go game state, get current pin. So get current BP pin. And then from that pin, we can do get par number. And then we can connect that guy like so. And then we need our score value. So it's going to be a set text on that one. And I need this guy and I need the par number. So let's do, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this. I'm going to convert this whole thing to a function. Make things a little bit easier for us when we need it later. So what we're going to do is we're going to select everything. And then just on any of the nodes, you right click and you say collapse to function. And we're going to, It's fine. Let's get score 1. We'll leave it named that because we're going to adjust this, adjust it in here. So compile, save, and then I'm going to F2 this input in our function. So we're going to rename this to get score. There we go. Okay, so now what we can do is we can grab this game instance strokes. We'll paste it like that. And we'll get the par number from our current pin and we'll paste it like that. And then we'll do minus, and we're looking for a minus int, connect, connect, connect. And then connect like that. Cool. So now hopefully this will give us our score. And then we have that. So now what we'll do is we'll say, okay, so post shot in pin, meaning that the player hits it into the pin or the hole or the cup or whatever you want to call it. We set the text so you did it. We say, yes, I hit it into the pin. And right before we destroy the golf ball, if it's going to let me grab this thing, there we go. We will go get score, connect, 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 compile and save. Now, hopefully, all things work. So we'll hit it into the hole, and there we go. Current stroke 0, par 5, score -5. Actually, that's not right. It should be stroke 1. Yeah. See, current stroke is not valid. Why is it not valid? Oh, it's not valid because as soon as I hit it into the pin, I'm resetting the strokes. So let's see if we can fix that. Let's see. As soon as I hit it into the pin, I'm resetting the strokes. Where is that coming from? Setting game. Maybe this is in a golf ball. Let's see. Let's check game state first. To next pin, hit in the pins. I'm setting all the stuff. Spawn pawn. Okay, no. Okay, let's look at the golf ball. So we'll go to core, golf ball pawn. All right. Add strokes, add the total strokes, yada, yada, yada. That looks good. No, I'm not doing it in the golf ball pawn either. Where am I resetting? I mean, I know I'm setting it right here. Reset strokes to 0. You know what I could do is just right click this guy, find references, and oh, it's in the pin right here. Here it is. Reset strokes to 0. And then post shot pin. See, this post shot pin is going after the strokes to 0. So what we'll do is we will cut this guy, drag this one over here. We'll just change the order in which they execute. And now it'll give me the, hopefully it'll give me the correct post shot pin strokes value, and then it'll reset it to 0. Yeah, there we go. See, current strokes is 1. My score is -4. Yep. And if I change the this par from par 5 to like a par 3, so our first one's a par 5, -4, and -2. Actually, what we should do is, I think it's cool that this score is coming up like this for the current hole, but I think what we should do is add another one that's called total score. So let's go back to our push shot. We'll go back to the designer, and I'm going to grab the horizontal box for our score, this right here, and I'm going to duplicate that. So I'm going to right click it and say duplicate. And we will change it from score title to total score title, and score value to total score value. And then the text itself will be, we're going to do T-score. T-score. Actually, since we have current stroke, we'll do total score like that. And then I will change the spacing so that it's more in line. Bring that in alignment like that. Cool. And then, oh man, we got problems. Let's see. I think, so we need this OK button to be inside there. You know what we could do is we could just make this height bigger. So we'll do like 600 on the height. Yeah, and then we'll go to our border and we'll change that to 600. And then our vertical box, we'll change that to 600. And by the way, I'm doing this on the Y. Ooh, see, now it's too tall. Let's try 500 maybe. Height 500, border 500. And then vertical box 500. There we go, that looks better. So I did that on, again, I did that on the set Y for our vertical box, our border, and the height here for all of those. And now we'll actually just hit play and test it and see how it looks. Should be fine. Yeah, see current stroke, total score, and then we have our okay. So now we just need to fix the total score. Okay, so total score value, let's go to that get score. So, how are we doing on the game over screen? We are doing get par amount. So we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, oops, we're gonna do the exact same thing. Actually, I don't need the print string anymore in this, but we are gonna copy this. And this is in my game over screen right at the begin play here. So I'm gonna copy, Control C to copy it. I'll go to my push shot info, and I am going to go to event graph, and right here, pre-constructs, and actually we'll change this pre-construct. We'll drag out from here. I'm going to do sequence, and then we'll do get actor of game HUD is your first sequence. Break the connection here. The second thing I want you to do is get the actor game state, and I'll break the connection here. And the next thing I want you to do is get the game instance. Cool, 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 cool. And then finally, I'm going to paste the same logic I had in game over screen, and that is going to be the last thing you do. And then I will see this one is sort of black right here, like grayed out. And same for this one. It's because it's not a variable in this particular blueprint. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and say create variable called total par value, which is exactly its name, and that's perfectly fine. And now you can see now it has that green hue to it. Okay, so now we have total par value, so we can go back to our get score, and we can do total score value. Sorry, total score value, get set text, and we have our total par, which is, wait, how did I do it in here? Let's see, what did I do? I subtracted total strokes from total par to get the total difference. Okay, that's fine. So we need our game instance. We need get total strokes. There it is. And then is it subtract strokes from par? Yeah, okay, so it needs to go this way. And then we'll minus, and then connect this guy into that one. And now we have total strokes. Cool. So hit play. Total score -7. Why is it -7? Oh, because the other one is 3. Okay, gotcha. Cool. And then if I hit this one, yeah, it's working. Cool. Excellent. So now if I'm a terrible player, we'll do this one. Maybe I'll miss. Oh, nope, I went out of bounds. We don't have the out of bounds logic yet. So we'll hit it a couple times. Make sure everything's working. Cool. 3. Current score is 2. Out of all the pars, -5. And then, oh, hole in one. So good. Cool. Restart the game. Okay. Strokes. Total par was 8, and my score was -4. Perfect. Okay, that looks great. I think that's all working. Let's look at that post shot thing again. That looks good. Save everything if we haven't already. And cool. So what's next on our agenda? Hazards. Okay, so to do hazards, actually, I'm gonna delete that little cube that's bothering me. So to do hazards, what we want to do is we want to. There's a couple things we can do. The first thing we can do is we can get the mesh. Now, of course, this isn't a mesh, right? And I don't have Maya installed on my computer or Macs. But if we had a static mesh, we could get the shape of the mesh and go, hey, if you're inside this shape, then then you're good. But if you're outside of the shape, then you're out of bounds. Since I don't have that, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do a spline. I'm going to generate a spline and shape that spline accordingly. And then I'm going to generate a mesh, a procedural mesh that's sort of like underground, hidden. And I'm going to check to see if the ball is inside that mesh. And if it is, then great. If it isn't, then we will respawn it back onto the T platform. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to go to project settings. So let's go into there. And inside our project settings, so let me make sure I'm doing this right. We need to go to, I believe it's collision. Yeah, collision. And we need to, so you can see here, collision, we have these object channels. And so what this object channel is going to do is it's a trace channel, right? It's an object channel where we're going to trace for that particular object. And we're going to say, hey, are they touching that object? If they are, then they're good to go. But if they're not, then we got issues. So we're going to do new object channel, and we're going to name this in bounds. And we can just call it hazard so that we know what it is. And our default response is going to be overlapping. Inbound hazard. And then I did talk about adding a water hazard. So let's do that too. So we'll do another new object channel. We're going to call this water hazard. And the same thing, our response is going to be overlapping. And then hit OK. So we're going to come back to these probably on Thursday, but I want you to know that the intent here is that if you're inbounds, then you're good to go, right? If we're checking it, is the golf ball overlapping it, then you're good to go. If you're in the water, you're not good to go. And if you're not in this inbounds, then you're not good to go. Okay, so let's talk about making a hazard blueprint. So do I have hazards? Oh, I do right here. BP hazards, this one right here. So we're going to open that guy up. And we're going to click on this open full blueprint editor. And what we want to do is we want to be able to construct up a spline mesh. So let's see, what do we want to do? We want, you have to forgive me because I gotta look to see how we're doing it. So we want to go to our viewport. The first thing we want to do is get rid of this sphere. So we're going to do scene and a scene unit here, our utility. We're going to change it to root. Replace our default scene root with that one. Then I like to add a billboard because it's kind of hard sometimes to select a spline. So just call this billboard. That's fine. And we'll change it from our nice raptor to a target. That's fine. Actually, I like the other one. Or this one with the check on it. That's kind of cool. And we'll leave that like that. And then we need a spline. So there's two types here. We have spline mesh and spline. The one we want is spline. And we're going to call this boundary spline. Boundary spline. And mine is actually a child of billboard here. I don't want that. I want it to be a child of root. So I'm going to grab it and drag it onto root and make it a child of root. Okay. So we are going to create a function, and our function is going to be called, we'll do set stake at spline points. And so what this will do is it'll set up stakes, which will create basically at every single vertice. So the player knows like, hey, you need to stay inside the stakes. And if you're not inside the stakes, then it's a problem. First thing we need to do is get the boundary spline. And then we're going to get, from the boundary spline, we're going to get number of spline points. And so what this is going to do, or actually here, before I do this, I'll show you kind of what this hazards can do. Oops, we want it to be, we'll do, oh, sorry, let's see, we want to select hole 1 and level hole 1. There we go. And now, there we go. Okay. So you see the spline here. I'm going to grab the spline. And if I hold down Alt, I can grab another spline and another spline and another one and another one, right? And so basically, we're going to shape the mesh how we want for our boundary, right? And then once it's done, we're going to put a stake at every single one of these. And when I say a stake, I mean literally a cube like this that shapes something like this, right? At every single one of those spline points. And then that way the player knows, oh, hey, that's where I'm at. That's where, you know, I need to be inside this shape. All right, so let's go to the cube and let's get rid of the hazard there so we can finish working on it. All right, so first we need to get the number of spline points that the designer or world builder makes, right? Then we need to do a for loop. So we're gonna do for loop. And you'll notice there's the for each loop, and that's what we've been using in the past. In this case, we're gonna just do a regular for loop. And then we're gonna connect our get number of splines right into our last index. So the first one is gonna be 0, right? And then the number of splines is the last one. So we're gonna go through all of them. And we are going to get their location. But actually, I think I'm missing one thing. What am I missing? Make sure I got from boundary splines here again. I want to do something like set linear or something like that. Set linear. Now, let's see, what is it? Splines. get location, number of splines. It's something like set the spline. Let's do set spline. Oh, here it is. Set spline point types. Linear. Oh no, that's the particular one. I want to do all of them. Set spline points, maybe. Nope. Set spline. Set tangents at spline point. No, that's a particular spline point. Maybe it is like that. I thought there was one where I could do it all. And maybe I'm mistaken. That's okay. Well, you know what we'll do is we'll just leave it like this. It's fine. We'll use this one. So we'll grab this guy. We'll say, and index goes into the point index. We're going to say, and what this is doing is it's going to set that's the so if you saw me drag before just a second ago, it was that's fine. When I grabbed a point and I made a new point, it's rounded, right? See how it's rounded like this? And what we're going to do is we're going to change that roundedness to be very straight, right? So because it's going to be linear. But first we need to build the rest of this. Okay, so next, what do we need next? So next we will drag from this index again, and we're going to do, oh, actually, no, I take that back. We're going to do boundary spline again. So boundary spline. And we're going to do get location. What do we need? At the spline point. So get location at spline point. So this way we know where the where to place the stakes. We're going to change the coordinates here from local to world. And then we're going to drag that index into this point index like that. And I'm going to promote this return value to a local variable. And the local variable means that it's only specific for this function. So I'm going to name it local, and it's going to be spline point location. And we'll connect that like that. And then we'll do add static mesh component. And when I click on that, you can see that it is looking for a static mesh. We don't have the stake yet. We're going to make that. And then we'll leave it at block all dynamic, but generate overlaps, I'm going to uncheck that. Uncheck generate overlaps, and we're also going to turn off character and step on. We don't care about that either. All right, and then I'm going to this return value I'm going to promote to a variable, sorry, a local variable. I'll call this local static mesh component. And then we're going to do an attach to. So we're going to do attach component to component. And what I want to attach it to is the boundary spline, like that. So basically, I'm attaching the stake to the boundary spline. So we can drag it like that. That's fine. And then we'll just keep relative, all that's good. And then we need to set world location. So we're going to do set world location. What am I doing wrong? Oh, wait, set world location. Here it is, this one, set world location. And the target is going to be our local static mesh component. So we're setting the world location of each of the stakes. And then we're going to set it at our local spline point location. All right. All right, so now we'll go to our construction script, and we're going to drag in our set stakes at spline point and connect it right into our construction script like that. And now, par one, hole one, we'll drag in a hazard. And when I do, I should be able to, how can I not grab the spline point here? I may have done something wrong. It's very possible. Can I drag out? No, that makes it duplicate. I don't want to do that. Maybe I can. Oh, I think I know what I did wrong. I did do that wrong. Walk, 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 walk. Okay, let's fix it. Let's go back to our hazards here, our set stake at spline point. And I think I have, oh, I have this backwards. This one, attached component. So it's actually the other way. Boundary spline is parent, and we're attaching this to, there we go. That's what's wrong. Okay, now let's go back to this, drag in our hazard again. And now I should be able to grab a spline point. Hello? Nope. Grab a spline point. Wow, it's not letting me grab a spline point. What have I done wrong? Let's try and do it this way. I think I may have done something wrong here. What am I doing wrong? Is this supposed to be manual attachment? No, 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 no. Actually, I'm going to just try and remove this completely. Let's see what happens. Is it complaining because I don't have a, I wonder if it's complaining because I don't have the, what you call it? No spline points are selected. Next spline point, yep. And you're not adding a new one. Next. Something's definitely wrong. The hazards go away. Oh, did I not compile? Compile, save. What are we doing wrong here? What are we doing wrong? What did I do wrong, guys? Let's see here. I should be able to draw. I should be able to draw the line. Not sure I'm not. Let's do this. We're gonna remove this connection for now. Oh, actually, we'll remove it right here just for now. And let's go back and add in our hazard and see if I can add it. No, not letting me do it, huh? Okay, Set stakes at applying point. Set linear, that's correct. Oh, you know what we'll do? We'll do this. We'll grab this guy, compile like that. We're just gonna get rid of things until we figure out why it's not working. Is it the linear thing? Oh, it is the linear thing. Unbelievable. Okay, I can fix it. Let's fix that linear thing. Let's see. That's good. Okay, let's do another function. We'll call us set spline points to linear. And then we'll paste this. We're going to do boundary spline, get spline points number, something like that. Get number, get number of spline points. For loop, for loop, connect, index, boom. Okay. So what we'll do is, I think I can do that after I set stakes. So we'll connect like that. And then that should hopefully fix that problem. So now I'll get rid of this, drop a new hazard. And are you gonna let me grab you? No, you're really complaining about the linear thing. What have I done wrong with this linear thing? Do I need to do it first? No. Boundary spline, update spline, index is on. This is a little good. I'm not exactly sure why it's complaining. Well, let's flip it. Let's go here. Connect. And place a new one, and it still does not want me to mess with it at all. Interesting. Okay. Well then, we'll just get rid of that set linear. That's fine. We don't need it. We don't need to set linear. Why do we need set linear? We don't need it. Now let's drag that guy in there. And then I can click on the spline point. Man, I just don't understand why it's not working. That's okay. All right, fine. We'll figure out that off camera why it's not working. Okay, so let's we're just gonna leave the set stake spline point, but what we need in the set stake spline point is this add static mesh component, which is we need to add the static mesh. So let's make that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our geometry. I'm going to go to box here, and I'm going to shrink this guy. So I'm using R to switch to scale. I'm just going to shrink it down to something like a little stake. And we are going to, what else do we want to do? We want to select one of the faces here. There we go. And then I can select all the faces by doing select matching brush. And so now I have all the faces selected. I can fix the UVs back to 1 to 1 and hit apply. And now the UVs are straightened out. And that looks good to me. It actually is kind of a little bit big, but I guess it's okay. We should get a little bit more. And I'm going to change our shrinking here to something even smaller. Here, we'll do this. We'll do it this way. Oh, not uniform. Not uniform. Oh, unbelievable. What have I done? There we go. And then now we'll do, oh, it's the Y that's too big. Something like that. And something like that. There we go. That's a good stake. And maybe it's a little too tall. There we go. That looks good. Okay. So, you know, scale your stake how you want, and then stab it right into a vampire. Bad joke, bad dad joke. Okay, so what we're gonna do is now we're gonna click on a brush settings category. I clicked on this little down arrow right here, and you can see where it says create static mesh. Outstanding. And it's gonna ask us where we want to put it. So I'm gonna go to art. Oh, I do not have a folder for static meshes. So I'm gonna hit cancel. I'm gonna go to the art folder and I'm gonna right click inside the content section here. Get our context menu, new folder. We're gonna call this static mesh, static meshes. And then I'll do this, that create static mesh button again. And art, static meshes. And I'm just gonna call this stakes underscore SM for static mesh. And cool, now we have a new static mesh we built that it can be converted into Maya as an FBX and so on and so forth. I mean, it's just a cube, but there it is. Okay, so we can get rid of this, go away, delete it. And then we can go to hazards, blueprint again. And right here it says add static mesh component. The static mesh component we want is stakes SM. Now we'll compile that and save. And now I drag out our hazard. You'll notice that it has 2 stakes at it. And if I click on one of the hazard spline points here, and I hold down Alt, left click and drag, I'm generating a stake at every single spline point. Oh, you know what else? You know what else is wrong? I think I know why this is not working. Let's go back to the spline point thing again. And we need to select the spline point. We need to make some changes here. So the first one is we're going to change it. We're going to change it to linear for all those. And then we need to close the loop. That's the thing I forgot. Oh, and here's the other thing we need, override construction script. We need that checked as well. I think that actually will fix our linear problem that I had a second ago. So let's actually drag in our, this, and sometimes it just happens to come to your brain. Okay, so now, yeah, see now it's a closed loop. If I drag out this again, and hold down Alt, hey, it's working now. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm a genius. Except this is not doing linear. So why is it not doing linear? Let's do it the other way. Go this way and then this way. Make sure this is all connected. Yeah, it's all connected. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let's delete this and we'll do it again. Did I not compile? Maybe that's what's wrong. File, save. All right. No, it's still not doing it, but that's okay. And why is it not world? Okay, so now basically what the idea is that you're gonna go in and you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna put one right here. I'm gonna put one, you know, maybe right here. And you're letting the player kind of know like, hey, this is the spot you can't be, you know, you have to be in these spots. And interestingly enough, it's still not doing that linear thing. So let me recompile it and then see if it fixes it. No, see, it's still not doing linear. Why are you not working? Set spline points linear, update spline. That is exactly what's supposed to happen here. Construction script, set spline points linear. Why are you not working? What are we doing wrong? Let's see. Input spline points. Whether the spline point should be past user control. Let me apply by it. Yeah, yes. Let's try that one. Maybe that's what's wrong. Hey, that's the one. Oh, it's magic. Magic. Okay, cool. Awesome. Dang it. There we go. Cool. Yeah, see now it's linear. Okay, so that was the one. It's this one right here. Inputs spline points to construction script. That needs to be checked as well. And override construction script, we don't care. We can uncheck that one. That's what was wrong. There we go. I think that fixes it. And draw a line. Yeah. See, now we're good. Cool. So 7:30. Okay, we're doing good on time. We're doing good. So yeah, so now we got to go in and we have to build out the shape that we want to say, hey, this is in the bounds. And if we want, we can grab the entire hazard and bring it up a little bit. So we can put these stakes sort of like in the white border part. Cool, 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 cool. Actually, we'll put this stake right there. And we just need one or two more stakes here. And the spline system can be used for all sorts of stuff. Like for the racing game, we can actually build a spline of, like, let's say, road decals, right? Of the dotted lines, right? The little yellow dotted lines in the center of the road. We can make a spline of the road. And then we could say at the center of the spline, draw these decals. We could do a spline for like AI to say, hey, AI follow this spline, such as racing cars, right? Hey, racing cars, follow the road racing spline as best as you can while the player is hitting you. But in this case, we're saying, hey, draw a little stake at every single spline point. So when we hit play, you can see now we have these stakes. It kind of lets the player know, like, hey, this is where you're supposed to play in the course. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get the shape of the spline and generate a mesh from it. So let's do that. And to do that, we need to, 1 second, I need to look at how I'm doing it. Underground shape, here we go. Okay, so, so let's go back to our hazard. And we're going to create a new function. We're going to call this create underground hazard mesh shape. And so what this is going to do is going to create a shape for us, and then we're going to use a golf ball pond to see if we're inside that shape. Okay, so we need the boundary spline again, because obviously that's the shape we're going to get. We're going to do get number of spline points again. We're going to do another for loop. Do another for loop. And we'll connect like this. And if my laptop dies while we're doing this, it's going to be bad for all of us. So this index here, we're going to drag out from there. We're going to create promote to local variable. We're going to call this local spline point index. Grab that into the loop body here. And then we're going to do our spline point again. Boundary spline again. We're going to do get location at spline point again. And then we need that spline point index. Grab that guy. And this is going to be local. We're going to promote this to variable. It's going to be a local spline point location. Oops. Location. And we will connect this guy like that. And then we're going to create another local variable. This is going to be local. Ooh, I capitalized this L here. Let's fix that. Local. Okay, cool. Local spline point. Oh, sorry. Actually, it's going to be local verts. Local verts for our for our mesh to create, and local vert is going to be a vector instead of a Boolean. And I'm going to click on this little yellow dot here, and I'm going to change it to this Rubik's Cube for making it an array. And then we're going to do local verts like this, and we're going to type in add. And then you can see here we have this connection. We're going to connect just like that. And then what is this one? Vector 2D. Okay. Then we need another one. It's going to be local UVs. And this one is going to be a 2D vector. This one, sorry, vector 2D. This one right here, vector 2D. And we're going to do add again. We're going to do a connection like this. And we're going to right click this X and Y value, split it. And we're going to do local spline point location. We're going to split that as well. And then we're going to drag out the X, and we're going to multiply this float by 0.1. And then the Y, we're going to multiply that float by 0.01 for both of them. And then I'll change it from the hundreds, from whatever it is to the hundreds place. And connect up the X to the Y. Oops. Like so. That looks good. And then what do we need to do? So once that's done, once we have both the verts and the UVs for our spline to create our mesh, then we can sort of create our mesh, right? So we will do from our completed right here. This is our loop, and out from completed, we're going to do a sequence, and we will grab our local verts. Actually, I'm going to drag this down a little bit lower. So our local verts, we need the length. And then we're going to do create grid mesh triangles. And we're just going to connect both the X and Y for our local verts length. And then see right here, triangles, we're going to right click, so we're going to drag out from that, promote that to variable. It's going to be called local triangles. Triangles, can I spell? Yes, I can. And then we need a calculate triangles. Calculate triangles. Something. Oh no, my computer's died. Calculate triangles. 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 Why isn't it showing up? Do I need to drag it out from here? Triangles. No, but it is a procedural mesh. Let's try procedural mesh. Editable mesh, procedural. Calculate tangents for mesh. That's what it is. I think. Let's do mesh again. Those triangles. Okay, I think it's this one. And we'll drag to this guy, connect like that. And then local triangles goes into local triangles. Local vertices goes into vertices. Local UVs goes into UVs. And then, and then there's one more piece we need to do. It's create Procedural mesh. Let's see, create grid mesh split. No, create grid mesh triangles. No. Let's do mesh again. It's one of these. Mesh. Calculate tangents for mesh. No. Create mesh weld. Generate box. Actually, we'll just leave it like that. And let's see what happens with our. I thought I had to create a mesh. I feel like I'm missing something here. Create grid mesh triangles. That should create it. Local triangles. I still feel like I'm missing something here. Mesh. Calculate tangent to mesh. No, that's what I already have. I already have that going. Triangles. Convert quad triangles. No. Triangles. Create grid mesh triangles. No, that's what I already have. Create procedural mesh. Or add procedural mesh. Let's do mesh again. Slice. Get static mesh. Oh, add procedural mesh component. Is that what I'm missing? Add procedural mesh component. No, that's not it. Mesh. It's one of these guys. Creates component, assigns accurate. No. Add custom mesh component. Maybe it is procedural mesh component. Let's see. This doesn't feel right because this doesn't seem right. And my laptop died, and it's 7:38. Okay, let's do this. We will. Why is it not working? What do I need to do? Oh, let's do this. Procedural mesh. Aha. Ha 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 ha. And then that create underground. I think it's coming out of here. Mesh. Create mesh section. There it is. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, boom. All right. So create mesh section, and then now we have all our things here. Actually, I don't know that I need this, do I? Oh, I do, because this is going to get tangents. This one's going to be normals. Then we have all our local variables for verts, local UVs for UV0, and our triangles. And we don't care about vert colors. And yes, it is going to be collision and section index 0. That's fine. Okay, now we should have a procedural mesh for our stuff. No, we don't, not yet. What have we done wrong? Oh, we don't have this connected. So construction script, create underground hazard mesh, connect. Hey, there it is. This is some advanced stuff too, by the way. I mean, it's a little bit more advanced than just like making blueprints. Okay, so we have some issues here. You can see that it's generating a mesh, even though it shouldn't be generating a mesh over here on the sides. You see how we have this line right here. So what we can do is we can go here and we can flip this. So winding, I think that will fix that problem. Yeah, so now it's upside down. So if we like look under, You can see that it's upside down. Oh, but it still has the same issue. Okay, so we'll need to figure that one out. And it's possible that I don't need these. Let's do that and see what happens. Nope, still some sort of issue with the shape. But that's okay. We'll connect these back up. It's fine. And then what we want to do is this procedural mesh. We don't want it to be on top, right? Because when I'm playing, obviously, right, the mesh is providing collision, and I don't want that. So I'm going to put that mesh way underground, like a billion miles underground. So we're going to go to hazards. We're going to go to procedural mesh here. And then right here on the Z, we're going to drag that to, we'll do like 1,000. Might need, actually do like 5,000. 5,000 is fine. Go way underground. Oh, no, that puts it way above ground. We need to do negative 5,000, my bad, negative 5,000. There we go. Now, if we go and now we don't see it anymore, but if we like look underground, there it is. It's way under there. And the player only sees the stakes. They don't see nothing else. Cool, right? Okay, so when we come back, what we'll do is we will go to the golf ball pawn, and we will add logic to this event tick that basically checks to see. It'll draw a line, it'll do a trace, just like we did with the with our sorry, what was the name of the game that we made? With the Rubik's cube, right? Or sorry, the companion cube. And we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna trace to that floor that's way underground and see like, hey, are you hitting it? And if you are, then you are inside the bounds. And if you are not, then you're out of bounds. And then we will make another trace that's going to be very similar to that we'll do for water. And we'll say, hey, are you touching the water? Ooh, then you are, you know, basically you're dead. You need to restart over at wherever the spawn is. Cool. All right. That was a tough one, but I'm glad we got through it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Thursday.
I got a quick one. When you're importing files from Maya and Max, how do you import them? Because when I do them, the files seem like they're like baby, like small, and I have to go into the search bar just to find them to blow them up, and it just seems like they're way out of proportion.
So it could be a scale setting. You may want to go into Maya and check to see if you're matching what Unreal is, which is 1 centimeter is Unreal unit. Actually, let me stop sharing now, or stop recording.